Welcome to What's Happening in Miami County. Here's your hosts, Don Smith and Bill Cartwright.
I'm Don Smith.
And I'm Bill Cartwright, and today is December 11th, not too far away from Christmas. And you can find us on Channel 5 or on YouTube. And remember, it's the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month, and most nights at 6 p.m. on YouTube.
Yep, and you know what's really cool? Our next program is Christmas night.
Christmas night,
And
yes.
we have put together, are in the process, I should say, of putting together a program that's going to be really poignant, interesting, and completely different. We won't be doing any upcoming events, but we will have a lot of really cool snips that I think you'll enjoy seeing, and that'll be on the 25th at 6 o'clock and thereafter as you can catch it. So I'm really excited about us doing that. That'll be really cool.
Yes, that'll be fun.
So Bill, are you decorating for Christmas? Are you done?
Well, we're done. We're done. We got, matter of fact, we before we did our 50th wedding anniversary celebration, we had our decorating done inside before that because we were going away and it was going to be a busy time. So it's all done and it's been done and we're just sitting back and enjoying it now.
Oh, that's good. I'm done as of about an hour ago.
Oh, well, that's good. About time. No, but you know, we've been doing a lot. We've been still been fairly busy. We went, Kay and I went caroling.
Oh yes, I was there.
And you were there. And I'll tell you what, we like to froze our took us off. It was
cold.
So cold. The wind was blowing. I think the wind chill was like around 5 degrees.
Oh,
it was brutal, but I'll tell you what, it was also a lot of fun. We the Presbyterian Church there in Covington and Fields of Grace Church got together and we went downtown and we did caroling in literally a wind tunnel. But
who's the lady who's in charge? Because she was really cool. And I took a picture of her.
I wish I knew. Oh, I can't remember her name.
She was really amazing, and
She
we're talking
was.
very elderly. And she was
Yes.
out there, and you, if you look at the picture, see her hat flowing in the air.
Oh yeah,
it was cold.
but it was just a lot of fun. And then afterwards, there was a store around the corner that invited us all in and gave us hot cider or hot chocolate, whichever one you wanted, and warm up a little bit because we all were pretty frozen by then. I tell you what, I couldn't feel my toes or my fingertips, and I had gloves on and everything. So.
I know it was definitely
sad
that it was as cold as it was because I think it probably cut back on the number of people that were there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But,
it definitely did because those who were walking along, they just took a look and kept on walking because they had to get to some place where it was warmer. But and then also we had a great Thanksgiving. Our family got together. There was like 10 of us, and it was just a really blessing to have everybody together, and it was just a lot of fun. We had a great time.
Well, that's good.
So what have you been up to?
Well, it's kind of the same thing. We did. We had a nice Thanksgiving, and we had a smaller group this year, and it was so peaceful. You know, sometimes it's a hullabaloo.
Yes.
Same thing going on all over the place. Well, this time it wasn't quite like that, and it was really nice, and the food was delicious. My wife did most all the cooking, and it was really very good. But we've also been along with Tom Lillycraft, we've been decorating properties for Christmas for people. That's a job that I started back when I had a flower shop, and when I closed the flower shop, Tom took it over, and now he hires me to help. So we still get involved, and we decorated downtown Piqua, the gazebo and the Fort Piqua Plaza and all that.
And they look very nice.
And well, when it's time for
really
Christmas on the
do.
Green, it's just really nice to have that all
Yep,
decorated.
yep.
And pretty traditionally with live natural greens and all that. And of course, I made potato soup at the Bethany Center last week, and
Yep.
that seemed to be a hit. And my granddaughter was home from Kentucky, and she helps. Ever since, I said this in the previous program, ever since she was 3 years old, she has come and helped me set up the nativity, which, by the way, is very large. It sits in 3 separate cabinets that are all against each other, and it's a continuous thing.
It's beautiful, though. It
Well,
really
thank
is.
you. And it's even more beautiful because she made the arrangements to come.
Yes.
It wasn't me saying, hey, are you gonna? She called up and said, when can we? And we put the nativity together.
That's wonderful.
And we just have a good time doing that. And so that's a tradition. We're going to talk about traditions later, but that's a tradition at our house. And then the Pickwick Caldwell Historic District tour host meetings. I run those because we need to make sure that all our tour hosts are ready. And of course, that program you're going to talk about a little bit later is coming up this weekend. And then we had our family dinner out. We went to Versailles to have a nice dinner, and that was also very enjoyable. And then I went to Christmas on the Green, and I sent bunches of pictures to AJ regarding that because I got to tell you, it was a little chilly, but it was such a nice event. Stacy and Main Street and Pickwood did such a good job. The show choir, the jazz band, and other organizations and groups, and there were fire barrels that you could stand by. It was just a really, really nice event. Anyone who didn't go missed out. I was impressed. It was just really nice. Then I had the opportunity to go to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which is something I've never done and wanted to do, and now I've had the good pleasure to go to hear the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
Oh, well, I'll tell you.
They're a little loud, but they're amazing.
Well, I had earplugs in the whole time.
Very good.
And I was pretty far back, but straight ahead of where the show was. And every time they shot that fire out, even clear back where we were,
you could feel the
that
heat.
warmth.
Oh,
it was amazing. So we've been doing quite a bit in that respect. And this week is busy. We've got events at our house on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I think we're going to be busy this week too. Oh, yeah. So I'm looking forward to all that.
I forgot to mention too that Kay and I went to a concert at the APAC. It was the Christmas program with the four tenors from Canada. I had never heard of them before. They're very good. It was a fun concert and it was very nice. Good. Very nice. But yep.
Well, we both got concerted up.
Yes, we did.
So it was good. Okay, so you got some events coming up?
Yes, I do. The first event, AJ can attest to this because it's Holiday Lights at Lost Creek Reserve. If you've never been, it's really a fantasy land. It really is. AJ took his family just the other day, and he said their little girl just went crazy. She thought it was so neat. But that's December 13th through the 15th, 16th through the 19th, and 20th through the 23rd of December. So if you can all go, it's just magical. It really is. They do such a good job, and you drive through. It's $10 per car, so fill your car up with as many people as you can, and it's $30 for like a 15-passenger van. But it's well worth it, and it's a lot of fun and just beautiful lights. It really is. I don't know if you've ever been.
I've not been to that one. I've been to some others, and it's really kind of cool to be able to drive through. And you're in the comfort of your car, but yet you get to see all this beautiful stuff.
And it really puts you in the holiday spirit. It really does. Okay, so then December 14th, a holiday historic tour in the Pickwick Caldwell Historic Districts. Tickets are $25, and you're going to say, tell us a little more about it, aren't you, Don?
Well, I hope to, because I'll tell you what, it's a really interesting, and it's going to be a beautiful tour. We've got a good number of homes, and one is a vacation house. It's not a bed and breakfast because they don't provide food, but it's a beautiful setup for someone who's looking for a place to put some family when they come in from out of town.
Nice.
It's a 2-bedroom home. Used to be a long time ago. It's on Spring Street, and it's outside the district. It's our one house that we have outside the district, and it's the one that used to be the yarn shop. People will know it as the former yarn shop. And the Schmid Labs. Steve and his wife own it and have done a beautiful job of restoring it, and now have put some beautiful Christmas decorations in it. So that's a good starter. And then we've got the Pedros have their home on. They just did a complete renovation of the house. And it's just beautiful inside. I had the opportunity to see it the other week. And then we've got the Green Street Church, which is really a beautiful place too. And they've gone all out. They've got some historic nativity sets set up so that people, as they go in, will see all those. And the sanctuary is beautiful. It's a nice place. And then we go on from there to Lottie Wellbaum and her husband have a house that is well decorated also. A lot of wood in that house. It's just a beautiful home, and we're looking forward to having them on the tour. And then we go to the Peltiers. Sue and Tim Peltier have their house on the tour, and the Albrechts have their house on the tour. And
So you have what, like 7 houses?
Yeah, well,
at least?
whatever number that was, 6 or 7,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
And then we have
And businesses.
the last one was the Harmons, Melissa Harmon, who owns Birch Tree. She's doing a beautiful house also. Her home is in that tour, and she's got all kinds of beautiful decorations up.
Well, I can imagine, because the way they decorate their store is just amazing. So
yeah, it's almost too good, because I was down there during the Christmas on the Green, and I bought a Santa Claus that was, I shouldn't say this because it's a gift, but it's an Ohio State Santa Claus, and I bought that. Ohio State Plus. I bought that from Melissa there at Birch Tree, and it was just a nice thing. So that's kind of what's been going on that way.
So, and it's going to be from 5 to 8 p.m., right?
Yes.
On December 14th.
And there'll be Illuminate the Night, so the candle light outside and so forth for homes that wish to participate.
And it's
in that.
$25 per ticket. And how can you get tickets?
You can buy them online, Piqua Caldwell Historic District.org, or you can go to Apple Tree Gallery, or you can go to Read More Hallmark. All 3 locations have tickets available, and you can pick them up there. There are tickets available. It's not sold out, and so actually we don't sell out because we take anybody who wants to take the tour.
There you go.
So we're pretty well set for that, and looking forward to it.
All right, that's great. That's great. So it really would be fun to do and see, because the Piqua Caldwell Historic District is really a pretty area anyway, just to walk through. And then, okay, December 14th, Holly Jolly 5K and 10K run. I know you're going to participate, right?
Yeah. I'll be participating watching.
Okay, but anyway, you can do same-day registration are accepted at the lobby of the Municipal Government Complex at 201 West Water Street, downtown. Your registration, you can register at www.mainstreetpiqua.com or sign up online at www.can'tstoprunning.com. And these will be at the end of the show. We'll run these through, so you'll be able to see the same thing for the Caldwell Historic District. Their website will be shown too. And then December 14th through the 5th and 15th, Johnston House Christmas tours down at the Johnston Farm and Indian Agency. And it's all decked out for the season. The cost is $5 per person, but it's experience the magic of Christmas at the Johnston Farm. That should be a lot of fun, be a great educational thing too, of how they used to celebrate Christmas. And then December 15th, the Tip City Community Band will be putting on a concert at the Piqua Baptist Church, located at 1402 High Street in Piqua. It's a free concert, and I'll tell you what, they do a phenomenal job. I've gone to it at least the last year we were there, and I think maybe I don't know. Anyway, it's a great tour. It's a great concert, and they do a wonderful job. And I get to drive a van.
Oh, really?
Yes, from our church.
To go to that concert?
To go to the concert.
Well, good,
I was asked to drive the van. I said, okay, from Covington.
And my wife is out telling everybody to get there, so it's a nice thing. The city,
It is.
we have our own municipal band in Piqua that performed, and they did their show here at Westminster Church just a week ago.
Just a week ago,
and
yeah.
that was a really nice thing too. So these bands coming to town to play are just make Christmas extra special.
And it's amazing how good they are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really, they're very talented people. And most of them don't do this for a living.
Right.
Matter of fact, I doubt if there's any of them that do it for a living, but they just do an amazing job, and they're very enthusiastic about what they do.
Oh, and too, the jazz band, Piqua High School Jazz Band, they're amazing too. They were
I've
down
heard that. I haven't heard them yet.
Oh my gosh, they were down at the Christmas on the Green, and it was phenomenal also. So we've got lots of good talent in this area
all around,
for people to enjoy.
All over the county. So, but anyway, that's concerts coming up, and I think it's at 7.
I think so.
I think that's when it is.
You know, they don't want us out too late, us old people.
Yeah,
We start at 7.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
yeah. And I can still drive in the dark, so I guess that's why I get to do the van. Anyway, and then December 23rd at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Bruckner Nature Center, they're having a winter break winter encounter, and I have a.
I think we had that last week.
Yeah, but it should be a lot of fun. Registration is required in advance. And you can call 937-698-6493. And again, I know this will be at the end of the show. You'll have that number, and also the info at brucknernaturecenter.com to register. Family and friends, it's Bruckner Nature Center members, it's $3 a person. Non-members, it's $8 a person. But they'll have their people out there, and you'll get to meet. Everyone will get a chance to see a mammal. I don't know what mammal they'll see. A bird, a reptile, and an amphibian during the 1 hour program. So it should be, see how nature contends with winter. So that should be a lot of fun. And again, it's Monday, December the 23rd at 2 p.m. So that's all the events I have right now.
Okay. Well, I've got some interesting stuff. First off, we need AJ because he's going to play a song, and we're going to ask you. You'll know the name of the song right away, but I want you to see if you know the artist, the person who's actually singing it.
Oh, that ought to be good. Brenda Lee.
You got it.
Hey, I got it.
And Brenda Lee made that song famous, but there's a lot of people
who've done it.
have sung the song, and not always the same way she did. But
No.
Now let's talk about Brenda. How old do you think she is?
I don't know. I think she's still living.
She is still living.
Yeah.
I had to research that to find out for
No,
sure.
I know she's still living, but I would say she's probably in her 80s.
Well, you're good. She is 80.
Oh, okay.
So not too old.
No.
I mean, compared to.
Compared, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
and
she's older than us.
yes, well, yes, that's true. But she was born in 1944. And other songs, Sweet Nothings, I'm Sorry,
Yeah.
I Want to Be Wanted, are all songs that she made famous. And over her time, literally hundreds of thousands of songs and people have heard her sing. And she did get a Lifetime Achievement Award for a Grammy at the Grammys. So she is a force in the music world, and that Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree was one of the top songs for quite a long time.
I think that's her number one hit.
Yeah, for a long. I mean, and every year at Christmas.
Every year.
It's like Burl Ives. The poor man's been deceased for like 20 years.
But I love to listen to his music.
I know, and he still sings all those Christmas songs.
Yep.
It's really kind of nice. Okay, we got another one. Her name is Rita Moreno.
Okay.
Now, you know what she did?
Well, she was an actress.
Yes.
She was a singer and a dancer.
Oh, you've been
Big
looking
time
at my
dancer.
paper?
No.
Well, you're good.
Yeah. No.
What was her claim to fame? Was there one? I think there was, that it's me deciding it, so it could be or not.
Was she in West Side Story?
She was.
Yeah.
She was in West Side
That's
Story.
what I thought. I remember.
She won an Emmy, a Tony, and a Grammy, and she was Best Supporting Actress in West Side Story.
West Side Story. Yeah, I thought that was the case. Yeah.
And now she's the producer of the new West Side Story.
Really?
Yeah, she's one of the
wow.
producers. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting about that?
What?
When she was in the movie the first time, West Side Story, she didn't sing one of the songs.
Oh, she did.
There were other singers.
There were other things.
They dubbed the songs in. She didn't sing them. I
Wow.
thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Marnie Nixon and Betty Ward were the two people who sang her music in that movie. Isn't that funny? That's interesting.
Who was the first one?
Marnie Nixon. Never heard of her.
It was her. Right?
Yeah, I assume so. And Betty Ward. I
Okay.
never heard of either one of them really, but their claim to fame is being her voice.
Her voice, yeah.
So anyway, she's not a young lady either. She's
No.
still going strong. She was born in 1931. So
Okay.
she's what, maybe 90 something, 2?
Yeah.
Well, you figure it out. She was born in 1931. Do your math, you'll have it right. And then the last one.
Young at heart, young at heart.
A politician, John Kerry.
Oh,
You know about John?
which I know of John Kerry. Yeah.
Yep, politician.
He's not my politics, but yeah.
Well, we all have our politics, but he's okay now. He's out and retired and doing a good thing. He's not old. He's not deceased either, by the way.
No,
he was
he's still
68th Secretary of State, and I'm not going to say under Obama. I'm going to say during
Obama. Thank you.
Obama's administration.
Thank you for saying it that way.
How old do you think he is, though?
Let's see. I would say he's in his 70s. Probably about our age, 75, 78.
81.
Is he really? Oh, wow.
Yep, he's 81. So anyway, that's some of the birthdays I have.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think it's about time to cook.
Oh,
Don't you?
yes, and we're gonna go visit
Nancy Mullenbrock.
Nancy Mullenbrock.
And she's listening.
Oh, she's not only listening, she's got a watch party going on.
Yep,
We're
yep.
real excited, Nancy. You're watching.
We are.
We're going to see you for the first time on tape because we saw you in person. And by the way,
That's
thank you
right.
so much for loaning me that apron that I had.
It
to
was
wear.
beautiful.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
thought it fit him so well.
Well, y'all will see that when you see the program. So, AJ, would you roll that tape for us? Well, welcome to the Mullenbrock house. Nancy Mullenbrock has decided that she's going to help, well, I kind of forced her into deciding that she's going to help us make a Christmas dessert. So please stay tuned, get your pens ready so that you can write down things that we talk about, because I know that Nancy really is a great baker. I know because of the cookies, all the different kinds of cookies that she makes, big old platters of beautiful Christmas cookies, not like I'd make at home, but like Nancy makes. Which
Well,
is
you made some here.
Well, I have been known how to make cookies here. Yes, Nancy, we're really glad to be here.
Don, it's so nice to have you. Bob, Bill. Oh, golly, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay.
So
We can call him Bob. It's
I
not
have
a
a
call me
little.
anything you
I have
want.
some things that you need.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Oh, I'm so excited. Which
The-
one?
well-
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Comet, or Vixen?
Well, you're not a
Conrad
vixen.
Blitzen. I don't have a regular.
I like that. You're
Okay.
not a vixen.
Now, I have some aprons, and I have a special one for you, Don.
Oh,
Please come on in.
I'm not so sure.
So we're going to make a white chocolate, no-bake peppermint cheesecake today.
Well, that's
and,
unusual.
and so we're not going to have any heat in the kitchen. So Don, I've always wanted to give you the bird,
Oh, no.
and here you are.
You mean I have to wear this?
Please.
Yes.
I can't get it over my antlers.
Well, we can remove the antlers.
Oh, I knew you'd help.
I can't wait to see it on you.
My antlers fell down.
Oh, you like
And Bill,
Yes.
you have a choice.
Oh, that's
get a
no
choice.
fair.
You can either be
Well, this
the-
one would go with my.
It would, or you may be a flamingo also.
Oh, I'll do this
All right,
one.
very
Oh,
well.
I bet you will. That's a skirt.
I would have picked the flamingo one.
Would you like it?
No. No. It's,
Okay, is my hair
So-
messed up now?
No.
yes.
Okay.
Your makeup looks great.
Oh, thank you.
So we're going to start by first, I'm going to introduce this. This is a cheesecake that I began making at a holiday where I was under pressure for time and it needed to be done. And I didn't have, these were things I always keep in the house, so I was very fortunate that I had it. It's, as I said, the white chocolate peppermint no-bake cheesecake. We do need to use a microwave. We will use a food processor and the mixer. And we will need a refrigerator, which I seem to have.
Yeah.
So
You've got it all.
But you know, it's unusual. This is a very unusual recipe because it's no bake.
No bake,
Almost
yeah.
all cheesecakes that I've ever made have always had to be in the oven. So,
well, and that's very true. And when you bring them out, one of the problems with a baked cheesecake is cooling it and then putting it in the refrigerator without condensation.
Yeah.
And there's a really
and
nice.
they crack a lot.
Well, there's a
crack
nice trick to not having condensation. Let me show you this. You'd need a tea towel and a springform pan like this, a size larger than you're using for the one you're baking.
Oh, okay.
And all you do is place that over the one that you've got, put the tea towel over it, and refrigerate.
Oh,
Okay.
Without any plastic wrap, it will absorb the condensation without it dripping on the cake. So you don't have any of the problems with it cooling too quickly.
Quickly. Yeah.
that sounds good.
So
That's a good tip to have. I always get upset because it cracks. And
And-
you want it to look really nice, and then you get this big old crack through the middle.
that's something that happens
Just
to all of
happens.
us. Yeah.
Yep, and so we usually just have a nice topping that covers that.
Well,
There you go.
it's called food camouflage. I use it often.
That's the way to do it.
Okay, so
All
what
right,
are we
so
going to do?
let's start with.
I'm a little embarrassed about this, you know.
Goes so well with you.
It looks wonderful,
It does, doesn't it?
and you don't have to worry about it catching on
You know,
fire.
we're on TV.
I
here.
know.
Straight on camera, Don.
Oh, man,
Straight on camera.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're
Okay.
going to step over here. The first thing I'm going to have you do, and I've got everything set up properly, is Don, I want you to pour. I've got 1 cup of whipping cream, and I've got 2 cups of white chocolate, and I suggest using the very best high quality white chocolate. Oddly, Private Selection from Kroger is a really good brand. It's got a nice cocoa butter content in it. A lot of them do not have cocoa butter, and they don't melt very well.
That's
So-
good to know.
So please look for
Well,
cocoa
my-
butter.
My bird's kind of in the way.
Your
but
birds,
I'll-
would you
I'll
like a
work-
different
Your
bird?
bird's
I'll work
fine.
around. So I'm putting this in here.
Yes, you're going to pour that in, and let me hand you just a small long-handled spoon to mix it up. Make sure that it covers everything. And we're going to put that in the microwave.
Oh, such technique.
And we're going to start off with 60 seconds. White chocolate melts very quickly at a low temperature, but it won't look like it's melting, and it burns very quickly.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's good to know. That's
so it will look like it's still solid. It doesn't lose its shape. So you have to be very careful about how you melt it and making sure that the cream doesn't boil, that you're not going to cause it to separate or to stiffen.
Yeah, because that would be a real problem. There are people who don't think white is chocolate.
Well, and it really depends. In Europe, it will be called white chocolate. Here, a lot of times it's called white style chocolate or white chocolate style baking chips. And I think that we need to have it have chocolate liqueur in it in order to be called chocolate properly. But this has cocoa butter in it. Let's look at that now and see.
Did you know she's wearing a Harrods of London apron?
Oh.
Bill and I are going to be at Harrods of London one of these days, but it's in
We're going to do another 30 seconds in
Okay.
there, and you can just hit that add 30, stirring it to see how, whoops.
all that. See what happens with my hoard.
I'm going to just wipe that up.
So I made a mess already.
Well,
Well,
that's
it's.
kinda
I got to tell you,
typical, right?
this little flamingo and I, we get in the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, blame it on the flamingo. Go right ahead.
I know. I kind of thought there'd be flamingos involved because I know how much Nancy likes her flamingos. I've been here when they've been in the yard.
Oh, okay.
Well, they were in the yard for Halloween.
Oh,
Okay.
so what do you think? Looks pretty good to me.
It
don't
looks
you
pretty
think?
good. We're going to keep stirring a little bit. I like using the clear glass because then you can see.
Kind of tell, yeah.
Yeah, you
yeah.
can see the edges.
I
what's
use
going on.
all my measuring cups, and
Yeah, ours
I
are
have a
too.
bunch of them, all
Mm-hmm.
different sizes, so I can do
Yeah.
everything.
So that's looking good. John, pull from the bottom and lift the spoon. Let's see what's left in the spoon there. Oh, it's very good. All right. If you would set the spoon back in here. Thank you. And now we're going to just set that in the fridge to cool down. And while that is cooling, who would like to be next?
Step right up.
All right.
I'm ready.
So I would like you to take, we have 3 cups of Oreo cookie crumbs. And we have 5 tablespoons of melted butter.
Okay.
I would like you to pour the cookie crumbs in there.
All of them?
All of them,
They'll all
just carefully, yes. They will all fit.
Oh, sure, you give him nice equipment. I had to do it all by hand.
You will be using the next equipment.
Oh, dear.
Okay. And then,
And you left one.
oh,
You can't waste an
you're
Oreo.
right, you're right, you're right.
And now we're gonna just spread that evenly.
Are those real Oreos?
Yes, and I will show you, to get 3 cups of Oreo cookie crumbs, you need 35 whole Oreos. Or you can be like me and just pick up a package of Oreo cookie crumbs.
Oh, that's
You can get them on Amazon or GFS Foods, and sometimes you will actually see just the wafers themselves crumbled like graham cracker crumbs.
Yeah.
You will need to add some sugar to the recipe for
If
those.
they don't have the icing in it.
Yes, these still have the icing in them. So we're going to take the lid, which is over to your right,
Here's the lid. I shall give you the lid.
and I'm going to, no, this is a trick.
This is a tricky one.
Yes,
Oh, wrong way. I see.
there you go.
Isn't that handy?
Lock that on, if we can. Yeah, shush.
You know, I watched
There we
Julia
go.
Child do this
And
one
you're
time.
going
It
to
didn't work. She
pulse
just threw it over
3
his shoulder.
times. Now that's looking good. Now here is the harder part. Pick up the butter. While you are pulsing lightly, pour the butter in a steady stream into that.
Okay, keep it.
Just pulse off and on. All right, let's just run that a couple more pulses just to make sure everything is all mixed. That looks good.
Yep.
All right. So the reason we're going to add the butter while you pulse is because it mixes in with the crumbs as opposed to just dropping to the bottom.
Yeah.
So we're going to lift this off for the moment and just set that to the side. And I'm going to pull this away. Let's leave that there. And in the meantime, we're going to prepare our pan. This is a different kind of a springform pan. It does not have the releasing edge,
Oh,
Oh,
But
okay.
but it does have a release bottom. And I have a bit of parchment paper we're going to put in there. In the meantime, we're going to fit that in there. We're going to take my handy dandy pastry brush and pick up a little bit of that butter and just put that there. That will hold that in place.
Yeah. Nice.
And
There's
then,
handles on that paper. What's that
Nice
about?
trick.
well, the handles, it's very nice because you can use that for layer cakes, leave the handles up and
Okay.
just
Just
lift
lift
them
it
right
out.
out. Yes.
That's nice.
So take the rest of the butter that's in there and you're going to brush the sides and the bottom
Of those.
of the whole pan, yes. All right, now we're going to release this.
You're next.
Well,
No,
yet.
not for
You're
this
still-
part. No, this is you.
Okay.
And here is your weapon of choice. You're going to carefully pour that in and watch the blade because that will come flying out. Don, would you set that in the sink, please?
Are you one of those people who, as you're cooking, believes in cleaning as you go?
I am obsessive about it.
Are you really? And see, I like to clean up. Well, I actually like somebody else to clean up after I'm done.
I would like that, but I'm very proprietary about my kitchen, as you probably know. And
I know. I'm surprised we're on this side of the counter.
well, it's a struggle.
I've only ever been on the other side.
And that's usually an instruction, isn't it? Stay on that side.
Yes, stay over there, and here's what you need.
All right, and that too can go in, but you put just put the scraper right here.
Okay.
Now, I have these. They work really well in spreading, and they don't the crumbs don't stick as much to your hands, and your hands will stay a little bit cooler when you use those.
Oh, are those special for the purpose, or are they just a set of?
They're just a set of nitrile gloves,
Okay.
and I have washed them ahead of time. So you're going to start by spreading this on the bottom, and then work with that to spread it up the sides. And you want to go quite far up the sides. And I'm going to put a pair on also. And we're going to, let me work with you on this a little bit?
yep,
Okay, so we're
please.
going to,
Let Nancy fix his project.
Yeah. Fix what I'm doing wrong.
so we're going to get in here with our fingers a little bit.
Okay.
And
We have to add some butter.
I don't think so. I think we just need to get those crumbs and the frosting in them moving a little bit.
That's the hardest part usually. I mean, I really do think that's always.
So we've got, so I think we're in pretty good shape there. So if you want to maybe, AJ, we're going to tip this up so that they can see this because we did go up very high on the sides.
All good there.
All right.
That'll make it look really nice coming out.
And that's nice because the filling sits down inside of it and it kind of makes it, it kind of frames it very nicely. So we're just going to set this over to the side. And Don, you're up.
Oh dear.
Yes.
And I'm going to be the French chef here for a moment and just push everything right on the floor.
Well, did you hear me earlier? I was watching Julia Childs do a program one time. She had a piece of equipment. It wasn't working right, and she just threw it over her shoulder.
The stories about her cooking.
It's amazing.
When she was first cooking, they were just videotaping out the kitchen door of her apartment, and it was very tight. So everything there wasn't place for anything. It just had to get tossed. So I'm going to remove the gloves. You can remove your gloves. We're going to be Vanna White, please. We
both get to do this.
Oh, we all do this. We have 3 blocks, 8-ounce blocks of Philadelphia cream cheese, a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, and then we have 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla and a 1/2 teaspoon of peppermint, which will all go into.
And I noticed they were extracts. They're strong.
Yes, they are extracts.
Yeah, which makes them even better.
So I'm going to hand that to you. You can put it over there. This all goes into the mixing bowl that's attached to.
So now you're using Philadelphia cream cheese.
I am. I like using the best. But you know what? Use whatever you can.
But do you think, I mean, I'm always wondering if it's the best or we just get used to the names. You know, that's what I wonder. And I did have
I-
a cheesecake a Philadelphia cream cheese one time that wasn't the best. I could tell that. But sometimes I just never know for sure. And I was wondering what your
And-
opinion was.
I think it really depends on what brand and what store it's coming from. Some store brands are great, and sometimes something from a store is wonderful and some things are not.
Like you mentioned the chocolate.
Exactly. Yeah, I actually prefer this over Ghirardelli white chocolate chips because they only have palm oil. They do not have coconut or cocoa butter in them. So I'm going to throw this over your shoulder there. Do you need a knife to open that?
I don't. I'm good
Okay.
so far. It was just getting the start. Well, now it's my turn.
Now it's
Oh my!
I tell you.
Bill, I'm going to hand that to you and
All
have
right.
you put that right in that mixing bowl.
There we go. All right.
I don't understand why they did that because I had it turned off. Oh well.
And I had my kitchen ringer turned off and it still went off. There's 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar, right in there. And then the extracts will go in.
Right there.
Oh, I got that bird in the way.
Your bird.
Okie dokie.
Now for this, we're going to, just go ahead and,
I lost my.
you're having one time
I'm
with
telling you.
all of the
I'm
accessories.
not used to all this accessories.
And accessories are the finer things of life.
Yeah.
And now
I'm
you're
in the-
back in. Well, you know what? At least those tell you that the pans are behind you as opposed to hitting your head on them.
Yes, that's true.
That is true.
That's true.
We're going to use the paddle attachment
okay,
right
I'm
now.
excited about that.
Now,
And we
lock
start
it down.
slow.
Yeah, we're going to start very slow, and sometimes I actually pulse it back and forth because your sugar, your powdered sugar or flour can go flying everywhere.
Yeah. And your cream cheese should be room temperature, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
The cream cheese should be room temperature. You don't want it to be lumpy because then when you put the chocolate mixture in it, it will be lumpy also.
And
Now,
don't.
let's put that only at medium speed. We don't want it to whip it too much.
Way to go, Doc.
Don, if you want to,
Not like how I drive where the foot's down.
all right, let's stop that, lift the head up and scrape that all down so that so that we know it's mixed together.
I'm choosing the purple.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, I'm going to be taking this out. It's still a bit warm. I like it to be a little bit cooler than this, but I think it will be fine.
That looks good.
Okay, it's not perfect, but I can clean off that more if you think we need to.
All right, so I'm now going to do my part here,
Oh, good.
which is pouring this
I can
in.
step back and watch you do something good.
And I'm going to use that. We're just going to scrape.
So I have
all
to
of
come
this.
back in 3 days to taste it, huh? After we get it all.
We might have this done in time for you to taste it
Oh, good.
today, Don.
I'm excited.
Through the
AJ's
magic
excited
of
too.
television,
He just comes for the camera and then he gets to eat. That's not fair.
So
I got
Now,
all the work afterwards.
set that down.
I was going to say, you got a lot
Now,
of
oh, and you know what? We're going to mix that up a little bit with the paddle, and then we're going to switch to the whip on that. Now, we're going to start this slowly, also locking it down.
There you go.
That's as slow as it'll go.
That's correct. And now we're going to slowly raise that up,
I'm feeling better.
and now keep going. You're going to get excited because we're going to go pretty fast on this. Let's go to about 6 medium high, and we're going to let that whip for about 2 minutes.
Okay.
But this is nice and soft.
It is soft. Look at that.
It's a little.
I want to stick my finger in that so bad.
Well, actually, I'm going to get some spoons out so each of you may try it.
Oh,
It is much better after it has chilled overnight because the flavor. Not yet, Don. We're gonna look at that a
to
little
go.
bit.
I was trying to be helpful. Just trying.
each of you.
I was very trying. Here's your spoon.
Bill?
Oh, you got it. Okay.
And I want you to tell me if it's smooth enough. We put the chocolate in a little bit warmer than I really like.
It's extremely smooth.
Okay, very good, very good.
Yep, it's very smooth, isn't it?
Ooh, that tasty. Ding dong.
All right, you may each throw those in the sink. And we're gonna just go in there for one more little whip now that we know that it's pretty good.
It's really good.
I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna have you scrape that right into the pan. Carefully.
Carefully.
Don't let, what is it, Ethel have any?
No, it's not Ethel. What was her name
What
again?
was her name?
Phyllis.
Phyllis. Okay, don't let Phyllis.
Like Dylan.
All right.
Now, I would
And-
normally bounce on that a little bit, but I'm not
I'm
going to
gonna
do
just
that 'cause
have you
I don't wanna
smooth
get
it out.
Oh, dear. Yeah, the crumbs would fall off
might
if we
fall
banged
off.
on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? I think we're about done there.
All right.
I might have to lick this thing.
Oh, you
too.
may. And Bill, would you like to lick that?
Sure.
I took a lot out of there. It's unfortunate that you're all not here with us because this really does taste really good.
This is really good.
All right, and now we're going to chill this, put this in the fridge overnight.
So do we have bedrooms that we can stay in, or?
Yes, we do.
Oh, good.
We do, and the name of my bed and breakfast is Snarky Pastures.
Snarky Pastures.
Snarky Pastures, yes. We communicate very well how we disdain having overnight guests.
Ooh, that's good.
It is good, isn't it?
All right, and it's going in the fridge. And now I'm going to show you a little bit about how we're going to decorate this. So, Don, I'm going to have you break this up into the squares and just put it in that bowl.
Okay, just in the square
And-
size.
yes.
You don't want maybe smaller than squares.
This is the Ghirardelli Premium White Chocolate Baking Bar. This does have cocoa butter in it. You can also use the cocoa chips, the white chocolate chips. But in any case, make sure it does have, again, the cocoa butter base in it.
That's the important part, is what I'm hearing.
So to do this, we're going to pour some boiling water in the bottom of this small pan. And this is microwavable so that if my chocolate gets a little bit hard, we can always put it in there for
Give
a
it a
moment.
shot.
But boiling water will actually melt the chocolate very nicely. We're going to give it a moment to start to soften. And Don, I'm going to have, actually both of you can work on this a little bit. I should say each of you. So are we completely smooth?
I think it was a Thermidor.
All right, so I will demonstrate and then each of you can try what I'm going to do. We're going to make,
Try is the word.
Opposite word.
it's going to be a little bit like cat's tongue wafers. Have you ever seen those?
Well, I know kind of what they look like, yes.
So
I'm not sure I've ever made one.
Well, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take a small spoon, like the ones you used for tasting. And I'm going to mix this up just a little bit more. And I'm going to get chocolate on the back of my spoon. And then I'm going to do just a dab like that. So cat's tongues would be quite a bit longer than that, but we're going to just do a little dab like that. It's going to be a little bit more slender in the middle than it is on the edges. This will need to be refrigerated overnight. If you don't let it set properly, it will melt in your hands as you take it off of the sheet.
Yeah, as thin as it is, I can imagine. Yeah.
So, and the other thing is it helps to, if you want to use those gloves again, you can do that, but also have an ice pack for your hands, and that will keep your hands cooler.
Yeah.
So go ahead and try.
Step up. You're in the way of my bird.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Phyllis was having a little issue there for a minute.
And just on the back, you don't need it on the top. You can go a little bit thicker than that, a little bit more chocolate. There you go. All right.
I got one more because you
Go
missed-
right
you
ahead.
left
I
the
did miss
space.
one, yeah. I wanted to make sure you saw that.
There you go.
All right, so now I'm just going to take this and put this in the fridge. And through the magic of television again,
Woo!
we're going to take this out.
It's a day later now.
It's a day later.
Look at that, a day later, and we got a whole bunch of them.
We're just going to do a couple of these to show how to do this,
Okay.
and we will.
Oh,
because
I'm
this
back.
is-
Oh dear.
This is still a little bit soft, so I'm not sure. But we're going to take these off, pop them carefully off of the foil.
Oh yeah, that came off real easy.
And we're going to just stand that up like that.
Okay.
And like,
Can I hold that just a little bit up so it doesn't?
sure. And we're going to start with making a little rosette in the middle. And you'll need 2 pans of these. It's about 4 ounces of the white chocolate melted.
Okay.
And we're just going to do like that. And we're just going to keep making little circles all the way around.
That's not too hard.
No, it's not. It's Don, I believe that you could do this on your own.
I think probably. And you know what? You said earlier before we started taping that you can make this in other flavors.
You can.
Which is cool.
So we're going to let that, I will show you what it will look like. And after all of the white chocolate petals have been put on this, it's going to get a sprinkle of crushed peppermint candies, which we can now buy pre-crushed peppermint candies, or you can actually crush them very easily in a food processor. So this is a great basic white chocolate cheesecake recipe. And as you said, we talked a little bit about the variations. You can just skip the peppermint, add another ½ teaspoon of vanilla, and make just a white chocolate cheesecake. I would serve it with a drizzle of dark chocolate over it and some raspberries, and it's great for any time of the year. You can use a different flavor crust. You could make graham cracker, add some lemon extract to it, and serve it. You could even put some lovely candied lemon peel on it. And add maybe a ½ teaspoon of dried lemon peel to the base of that.
We'll have to have your daughter watch this program so she can make that for us.
Yes.
Now,
Julia, child, you have has
so
nothing
this
on
is
you.
what it looks
Look
like
at that.
when you finish it. And we're going to
looks
take a
so good.
knife carefully down the side. Now, this has been sitting out a little bit so that the butter in the crust has softened a bit.
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit easier to remove.
It's really nice looking, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, put that on a table and people are going to ooh and ah over it. And like you said, it wasn't really that hard. As long
No,
as you know the tips.
It's an easy one to make. You can also just use chocolate wafers in the crust instead of the Oreos. Just add a bit of sugar, maybe about 4 tablespoons of sugar when you add the melted butter.
And you just made all these up, all these extra things, how you do it?
I do, yeah.
That's what I thought.
So it was, the cheesecake recipe was a basic recipe.
I find that most people who cook are afraid to go away from a recipe, and I don't have too much problem with that.
So
If I
here we
think
go.
I can improve it, look at that.
Very nice.
There we are, and I'm gonna just have you sit that there. And then with the parchment, and what I did with the parchment on this one is to leave the tab there,
Oh, okay. So you can just
so I can slip
slide it out.
right off. Don, would you, if you could, just grab, oops, no, that did not do what I wanted it to do. That's all right. We've got
There
it.
you go.
And I'm gonna
Dispose of that.
dispose of it. And then we're gonna just, the crumbs, we're just gonna mound them up a little bit. I'm gonna take some more of the peppermint, which I seem to have put away. Yeah, and sprinkle a little bit of peppermint. You might want to put some fresh mint leaves with this.
That'd be pretty. That'd really be pretty, yeah.
And
Well,
some
that would make it red and green too, which
Yeah.
would make it really Christmassy then.
And if you have maybe a couple of holly berries you could put on there. I would not put cranberries simply because the flavor will be a little bit too conflicted.
Right. But holly berries, would that be not healthy?
I'm just saying for decoration.
Oh,
Yeah,
or
I
you-
would not encourage anyone to eat holly berries.
No, but we could also use probably some really good quality artificial
That's true.
stuff that
Yeah.
would then not be unhealthy and nobody's going to eat it.
Right.
So, yeah.
So this is
Anyway, it'll look,
that.
it makes it look good. Well, we're back, and now guess what we get to do,
The
Bill?
most important part.
We have to make sure that Nancy knows what she's talking about.
Right.
And we're going to do that right now, Nancy.
Have we called Jameson?
No, because I don't want to share the cake.
Yeah.
If something were to happen to you, we're going to finish the cake before we call anybody.
Well, bon appetit.
So good. Wow. That really is good.
All those flavors go together. It's just,
Yeah.
And can you see how the peppermint flavor has now
Yes.
mixed all the
Right.
way through?
Yep.
You like it?
Yeah. Boy, that's good.
this is really delicious.
And the texture is not that different from a baked cream cheesecake.
Nope.
Not much at all. Not much at all.
But the chocolate's what tightened it up like that, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And the quality of the cream cheese, because I agree that I've tried the cheaper stuff sometimes, and it's just
It
not
doesn't
nearly
always
as
work,
good.
yeah.
Right.
Well,
Now, on a baked cheesecake, it'd probably work, but not on this.
I wish y'all were here. This is really good stuff.
Maybe approved.
If you need the recipe, don't forget, we have it, and you can acquire it by contacting AJ at the Piqua Indian Nation Station on Indian Trail, Piqua, or you can email him, and we'll be happy to get the recipe to you directly. And Nancy has printed it up with the alternatives that you can do to the cheesecake to make it for different seasons.
Well, and these are just a couple of suggestions. There's a myriad, and I believe that the opportunities are endless with this because it just is cheesecake with white chocolate and vanilla, and then adding whatever you would like into it.
And she did finish it with some chocolate drizzle on top. And that really added to the look of it too when it's on the plate.
Yeah.
Well, we're back. I gotta tell you, I was a little embarrassed about that apron, but
I loved it.
I swallowed my pride when I tasted the cheesecake, because I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that cheesecake was fantastic.
It was awesome.
And I'll bet
Yeah.
if we were at Nancy's house right now, she's probably serving all those people she's got her watch party.
Well, I would hope so.
And if
Oh my
not,
God.
you all should come back and have it at her house, because
Yes.
it's really
I
good.
tell you what, and it was just a lot of fun. She's such a nice lady, and beautiful house. Her husband's really nice too, and he.
Oh my goodness. And you know, she is so knowledgeable of the kitchen.
Of everything. Yes.
All the ingredients. I'm making some mincemeat, and that's
Okay.
a project. I
Yeah,
didn't
it
realize
is.
how much. I'm doing it as a present for somebody, and I mentioned it to her, and she immediately knew exactly what I needed, and she had stuff I couldn't find at the grocery store, so that really helped me out with that.
And that was amazing when we were doing the baking. She would come up with these things, telling us about different things. And
Yeah, the
if
history.
she needed something, she said, "Oh, here, just a minute," and she'd go get it. She'd had it.
She had it all. So it was really fun to have that, and we really hope that she's having a good time at her,
Yes,
at her
yes.
house right now.
And we certainly appreciated it a
Oh,
lot.
yes, yes,
We
yes,
really
yes.
did.
We may have to
so-
go back there again.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any more events coming up?
Yes, I do. And these are kind of an important events. And remember, you can find out, I mean, I can't go through all the events that are happening in Miami County. We'd be here for hours. But you can find out about a lot of the events on www.homegrowngreat.com/events. That's the Miami County site, and it really has a full listing of everything that's going on, a lot of things, and of course Christmas time there's a lot going on. So, but I want to go over some things that it's important to me that people know. And again, this is not a full list, so please, you need to check your own. But Christmas Eve services, I think it's important that this time of year we remember what Christmas is about. It's when love came down. And so, these are important services, and if you can go, please go. I think it's a wonderful thing. But Green Street Methodist Church, December 24th, their service will be 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. And then the Valley Church Piqua and Troy, December 24th, they have a service at 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and 4:30 p.m. And then Fields of Grace in Covington, they have a Christmas Eve service on December 23rd at 6 p.m., and they have a December 24th at 6 p.m. You can come early for free specialty coffee and hot chocolate, and the dress is casual. So please come. It's a wonderful service. And then the Piqua Baptist Church, December 23rd, is at 7 p.m. And St. Paul's Church is, we believe it's at December 24th at 7 p.m.
Yes.
So,
And then you've got St. Mary too, of course, has midnight mass.
yes, I was going to ask you about that
Yes.
because you would know that. They have
Yeah.
midnight mass. And I know you because you go to that every
yes.
year.
Yep.
And, but just check your local churches. A lot of them have websites that you can go to and find out, but just if you can, go and remember what Christmas is really about. That's important, I think. So, but that's all the events that I have right now. So,
Well, let's talk the final traditions, because we've got a couple more things to talk about as far as traditions are concerned. And I think it's important that our young families develop traditions, because that's something. When I was just talking to somebody earlier today, and they go, "Oh, I remember back when I talked to we would go see my grandfather, and we would just enjoy the conversation that he would have about everything around the holiday." And it was a tradition. They always got together to see Grandpa. And so we've got some pretty cool ones. The pickle. In Germany, they put a pickle on the Christmas tree.
Right.
And the child who finds the pickle on Christmas morning wins a special prize.
Yep.
Now, we do that at our house. We have done that for grandkids and great-grandkids. And what we do is, we start with when they're little, we go use a big pickle. You can buy these ornaments, by the way.
Right.
They have them at various stores. So we had a big pickle ornament. it was about that big, and it was kinda
Easier to
hard.
see.
It was easier to see, and they're not allowed to touch the tree, because that would be dangerous, because the tree would end up falling over.
Yeah.
But they can point to where it is, and the person who sees it first gets a prize. Well, as the kids got older, the pickles got smaller.
Yeah.
Now we're down to about a 1-inch pickle.
wow.
Now because the kids are old. So now it's really hard to find, and you have to really go searching.
Yeah.
So that's one, and everybody looks forward to that every year, and the
fun.
prize is not much.
No.
I usually give them a coin dollar.
Yeah.
That's it. So, it's not that big a deal, but it's the idea. So that's a tradition that we have in our house. Then the sugar plums, when you listen to the night before Christmas, the sugar plums danced in their heads. Well, I wondered what those were for years and years. And I kept going to the store trying to order sugar plums. Well, nobody
had them. Yeah.
No. Well, I found out what that is. That's just any candy. Sugar plums are just different types of candy.
There you
and
go.
so, you make some special sugar, you get a special candy, you call it sugar plums, and on Christmas Eve, you read the night before Christmas and you give everybody some sugar plums.
Yeah.
Some candy, a special candy. Now, once a long time ago, Winans had what they called sugar plums, which were just little gel candies, but they were really good. But I went back ever after that and they never had them again.
No.
But you get any kind. And then we always roasted chestnuts. Well, you've been involved with that.
That can be dangerous.
That can be really scary. Before Martha Stewart, I was deciding I had to have roasted chestnuts because there's the song
That's
and everything,
right.
and that's
Chestnuts
Christmas
roasting
Eve
on an open fire.
Yeah, and Christmas Eve and all.
Yeah.
So I put those suckers in the fireplace, and the fire was blazing. Everything was good. Pretty soon they started shooting out at
It
us.
started blowing up.
That was not the right way to do it. But we found out, didn't we?
Yeah.
So anyway, then we
Yeah.
found out you have to pierce them. So I bought a batch one time and I laid them by the fireplace for about 2 weeks beforehand. They were dried out hard as a rock.
Yeah.
That didn't work either.
Yeah,
you have
they
to
were-
get them fresh, and you have to pierce them with a knife, and you put them in the fireplace we got a metal pan, and put them in the fireplace, and they toast. And then you get them out, you crack them open, and you eat them, and they're really pretty awful. Although you liked them, I think.
I didn't. They weren't awful. They were. Are they my favorite? No, they're not by far. But they're okay.
But it's Christmas Eve, and you're
And
supposed
it's
to have
Christmas
chestnuts.
Eve, yeah.
So we always had chestnuts, but and I've had them from the street in New York and other places, and they're no better there either.
No,
So,
I was
but
gonna say.
it's just something you're supposed to do, and so we always did that. And then the last one, and this one you can do on New Year's Eve, which is kind of cool. If you got a friend at a house that maybe doesn't get out a whole lot, we always sneak a coin or two, put it on the windowsill outside, or you could do this with kids too, because placing a coin or two on the outside on Christmas Eve brings good fortune in the new year.
No.
If you can't burn the holly, because that's another one.
Yeah.
You gotta have coins on the windowsill, and then the kids can find the coins and go, oh look, the coins are here. We're going to have a good year this year.
Yeah.
So those are some of the traditions. And by the way, I'm not just talking the talk. We walk the walk. We do these things because it really has made our Christmases.
Yeah.
Bill can attest to it.
Oh,
because
absolutely,
He's
yeah.
been there a lot of the years when we do them.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. We even burn bayberry candles.
Bayberry candles.
Because my friend Bob Locke says, bayberry candles burn to the socket, bring food to the larder and money to the pocket.
Yeah.
So we always burn a pair of bayberry candles all the way down, and
Yeah.
hopefully we have food in the
Food in the-
larder and money in the pocket.
Pocket.
I'm not so
Yeah.
sure about both of those,
Well,
but
I think we've got food in the larder.
and I got a coin or two in my
Yeah.
pocket, so we're okay.
We're
Everything is
fine.
all good.
Yeah.
Well, upcoming, please remember that on December 25th at 6 o'clock and thereafter, the show will be pretty special, and we really would like you to tune in and see that. I think it's about time to wrap up.
Sure.
I'm Don Smith.
And I'm Bill Cartwright. And
Thank you for watching. Hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Don't forget,
What's happening in Miami County?